I don't wanna overthink, so I should chill, watch a movie and drink. Look around, I don't see people who think anymore.
Welcome back to Tell Me More About It with your hosts, Larry and Vernon.
How's it going?
Before we get started, if this is your first time watching this podcast, we want to say thank you. And if you're probably thinking right now, why am I watching this? What did YouTube suggest for me? Well, pause for 1 second because this podcast is about two everyday dudes who can relate to the viewer who is you. And we talk about a variety of topics, giving our perspective on that topic. So if you guys feel like you would want to watch this and be a part of this community, hit that subscribe button and that bell right next to it because we're constantly dropping new content for you guys all the time. And I guarantee the topics we talk about, you've talked about with your friends, or you've thought about, but you just didn't bring that idea out. So Vernon and I want to talk about those kind of things. We want to keep it real, keep it sincere and fun at the same time. All in one podcast, which is only 15 minutes long. Man, you got 15 minutes. So before we get into our main topic, ego, we have advice of the day with Vernon.
Yep. So the advice of the day is if you can stay humble and listen more than you speak, success will follow. So that's one to really think about. Think about it. Try to listen more than you speak because you learn a lot more that way. Not to say you should listen to everything, because sometimes, especially negativity, try not to listen to it.
Right.
But if it could be useful information in some way, try to listen to it instead of just automatically speaking. So
I like that.
Yep.
So y'all know what time it is. By now, if you've been a part of this community, it is Meme of the Day. We're Vernon and I send each other memes, and you guys see our reaction from the memes. You guys laugh along with us. Just so you know, this is the first time we're seeing the memes, so we have not seen them before. This is our initial reaction to it. I'm gonna let Vernon go first. So yeah.
Alrighty. Just send it.
Selman. Yep. Yep. That was a good one.
That's pretty true. Tell us if you guys can relate that or you think that's true.
So I just sent it to Vernon. Vernon, is it funny?
Let's see. I mean, my siblings would just tell on me and just blame it on me. So it wasn't even like we tried to fix it. I get blamed. I'm the oldest. That's what they do.
But you can picture that though, so it's funny. Don't try to pretend it's not funny. Team Larry all day.
You get a clap.
Team Larry all day, guys. Team Larry. So let us know if that was funny. I think it was funny because it's funny. Anyway, put hashtag Team Vernon, Team Larry. Who you rooting for? We want to know, guys. Who you rooting for? Let us know. So it's time to get into the main topic of today, ego.
Yep.
And we all got one, so we figure we got to address it. Vernon, you want to go first?
Yeah. So ego. It's in all of us, like Larry had said. And I've had ego plenty of times. Larry's probably had ego plenty of times. We all had. So To go into it more, ego will be the downfall of you achieving your dreams. And really listen to me when I say that. If you have ego, you will not succeed at your dreams. And I say that because, like we said with the advice of the day, you have to be humble and open to listening.
I don't agree with that.
Why?
Because I feel like you can still reach your dream, even if you got a huge ego, but you might just not maintain it. I feel like you can get there still having a huge ego, but you may not maintain it having a huge ego. So we gotta disagree to agree.
Okay.
Disagree.
Tell us what you guys think. So for me, ego won't allow you to achieve your dreams because it'll get in the way of useful information. And what I mean by that is think about Michael Jordan. On the surface, it looks like he has ego, but there's a difference. There's two different definitions of confidence and ego. They're two completely different things. Confidence is backed up by the work and listening and humbling yourself and practice. Right. It goes into whatever you're doing. Ego is you're just saying, I'm the best, I got it. That's pretty much the difference. And I've done it on multiple occasions. If you guys listen to some of our last podcasts, I played basketball. And as Larry and I both know, as basketball players, we all have ego. The majority of us have an ego. We think we're the best ever, for sure. Like I knew I was going to the league. I was about to be the Stephen Curry of the millennial generation. I don't know. Is Stephen Curry millennial? How old is he?
28, 29 maybe. I think
he might be on like the very
probably,
yeah. But yeah, and it can be hard. It can be hard to manage ego because no one wants to look stupid. No one wants to be seen as vulnerable. So it's like magnets, the sides that like don't touch. That's kind of how it is. And you have to find balance in between those and try to, I don't want to say not be too vulnerable, but you don't want to be too vulnerable and you don't want to be so far away from vulnerability that you don't learn anything. So you want to find a happy medium. And a good example of that would be, let's just use basketball, for example. To be good at basketball, you have to have an ego. Some form of an ego. Or I don't even like ego. Let's say confidence. You have to have confidence. Because if you're not confident, you're not going to do what you need to do to perform. And if you have no confidence, you're definitely not going to do what you need to do. So in between, let's just say, for example, you're playing in a game, your shot's off. Your coach tells you, hey, maybe try driving it in a little, get some layups going and see if you can get that outside shot going. Your ego tell you two things. You don't know nothing. You the coach. Like, I ain't got to listen to you. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to keep shooting. Ego. Right. Or you could listen and potentially take his advice and get on the board, get some points, and now everything works out. So yeah, like Larry said, I guess you could make it. I don't know. That's even hard for me to say. I guess you could make it having ego to where you want to be, but like he said, there's no way you're going to be able to sustain it.
Exactly.
But I still feel like if you have an ego, I feel like it's just so hard to make it to where you want to be that way because you're going to come in conflict with something that's going to challenge you.
You might like make it to the first goal, but I don't think you'll reach your potential or the highest you can go.
Yeah. So I guess that's a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
You can reach a certain goal, but you're not going to reach the full potential to which you could if you had listened and humbled yourself.
Exactly.
But what do you have to say about it?
I definitely agree with you when it comes to basically when you have a big ego. People who tend to have big egos don't listen. I had literally wrote down a big ego can have you not willing to listen because you spend so much time defending yourself. So if you always thinking you're never wrong, you won't be able to hear someone's input, so you won't be able to get better. So when you say it like that, I hear that is factual when you say you might not be able to reach your goals. But at the same time, I want to take it somewhere different. Having a big ego can also affect your relationships when it comes to friends, whether it be with a guy or a girl. And then I want to take it somewhere else as well. It's important to keep your ego in check because it can cloud your judgment. Because like Vernon said, you might think you're the best thing since sliced bread. And if you ain't put in and you ain't put in any work, then how are you going to have results? You're not going to be able to have results. So
tell us what the sauce is, Larry, because I'm curious. What's the sauce?
what do you mean?
What's the sauce?
What do you mean? What's the sauce?
What's the sauce? Is it like the Krabby Patty secret formula sauce or something? I'm confused. What's the sauce?
The sauce is to have, just like Vernon said, have confidence, but know when you're starting to get too far into it's all about me. It's about you, but at the same time, it's bigger than you. So you need to remember what things did you do to get there? Continue to do those things that got you there, and then remember it's bigger than you. I feel like that's the way to control that ego, because we all at times get the big head, but it's just to remember ways to deflate the big head. Remember those nights when you might have been sleeping on the floor, or you might have been sitting on the bench, or you might have had that F in class, and you put all that work in to get that A to become a starter or to get that mansion. Remember that. That's the way to keep. That's the sauce right there, in my opinion. To remember those humbling times.
It is the sauce.
And I will remind you.
You said what?
If not, God will remind you.
Yeah, that's true too. Hopefully you figure out before that has to happen to you, because some of those lessons can be hard.
Right. Tough.
But yeah, you brought up a point that you made me think about. Especially as you get closer to your dreams and you start finding success and recognition or whatever it is you're looking for, it's going to be twice as hard for you to keep that ego in check, because now you feel like, whatever, I gotta listen to you. I got this and got that. And I'm telling you, and that's why we started this podcast partially because we want to show you guys a journey. We're entrepreneurs. I guarantee you I'm not going to change, because I won't even surround myself with people that'll just hype me up like that, because you need to be grounded. That ego is a dangerous thing, and it will destroy you. Like, I saw this thing, I don't like being negative on this, but I saw this video of this CEO that thought it was cool to have or say these racial remarks to this couple. And on camera, it's like, dude, are you serious? And then he wanted to go back and apologize and say, I'm sorry, I wasn't raised like that and all this other stuff. But the damage has already been done. His ego was so high because he was a CEO and he's doing this and that. He felt like he was on the top of the world, that he could go and just say whatever he wanted. That's ego. It's dangerous. It can ruin everything that you work for. I don't care how much effort and work you put into it. That ego, just one slip up can ruin everything.
Right.
So make sure you're always surrounding yourself with people that'll put you in check.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Right.
Yeah. So if Larry, when he makes it as this huge artist, bigger than Drake, who knows? But if he makes it there and he feels like he's on the top of the world, I'll make sure I'll be there to be like, Larry, nah, you still got work to do.
Right.
It's don't feel like you're higher than what you are. You still have plenty of work to do, because it's hard. Don't let it get to you, because if you're following some of these steps that we've talked about in the past podcasts, you're gonna get to where you want to go. But don't lose yourself on the way up there either.
Thanks. I like that. So yeah. I think we did a good job with that one. You guys let us know if we missed anything, or if you guys think that it's also important how to contain that ego in the comments below.
Let us know. We want this to be a community where we just shoot each other different questions and talk about different mistakes or struggles that we're going through. Because we want this to be a positive, uplifting community.
And I encourage, if this is your guys' first time watching this one and you like what you're hearing, go back and watch the other ones. We dropped some good jewels in that one too. So we all, like Vernon has said in several podcasts, it's almost our time to, make a difference in the world. And we need to have these morals and values instilled in us so we can make a difference and not do the same mistakes the past generation did. It's important. So, yep. Ryan, you got anything else you want to say?
Yeah. So we have a segment at the end of our podcast that we like to call Things to Think About. And it could have nothing to do with the topic, but we just want to, just fun, factual, sometimes not even factual. It's just something cool to think about. So mine, this is interesting. Giraffes' tongues can be 20 inches long. Now let's think about that. They eat from trees and different things like that. Their neck is already extremely long. What is the tongue for? Like, what do they need a long tongue for?
All they gotta do is get close to the tree and eat it. What's the tongue gotta be long for?
Yeah, evolution, I guess maybe they started off smaller, so it was harder for them to reach trees. That's the only thing I could think, because I don't see the reason for them to have a 20-inch tongue.
That's crazy.
And no negative comments in the section.
About the tongue?
Yeah. Because I already know how some people might be no.
Or no weird comments. Like, we don't want that.
Positivity. But, yeah, what do you guys think about that? I thought that was interesting.
All right. So mine is, so apparently there is a bar in London that sells a vaporized vodka that you can inhale instead of sipping. So you can get drunk off the fumes or something. Who knew? Who knew that? That's crazy. My question is, who would even want to get drunk off that kind of way? Because my nose, I don't know about y'all, but my nose is sensitive, so I wouldn't want to do that.
To each their own on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Sounds cool. Wouldn't try it.
Right.
Pretty much how I feel about that. But I really do hope you guys take what we said. And this is not to say we're like, we don't have egos. Larry and I both have egos, but it's not about not having an ego. Everyone has an ego. It's keeping it in check. That's the important thing. Because if you don't keep it in check, you could lose good friendships. You could lose everything that you worked so hard to build. So please, especially as you start this journey, figure out who you are and try to stay that way. Don't allow success in different things of that nature to change who you are as a person at your core.
Right.
So,
like Dave Chappelle, his mom told him, you need to determine, is your success worth you changing as a person? That's the simplest way I can say it.
Yeah. So tell us if you guys think that it's worth that. Hopefully you all say no, but if you don't, hey,
that's your
could
thing.
be another podcast that we could talk about.
Exactly. Brandon just did our logo. It's up to you.
But yeah.
So yeah, we kept it short, simple, and sweet like we promised. See you guys next time.
See you soon.
You can be anybody you wanna be.